That's ISO.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is NURFAQIHah binti Abu Bakar and I will explain on introduction of Director General of Trade Union, DGTU powers regard to fund and account matters. According to Ayat A, a trade union can be defined as workman in any person including an appetite, employed by an employer under a COE to work for hire or reward, and for the purpose of any proceeding in relation to a trade union include any such person who has been dismissed, discharged or retained in connection with or in consequence of that dispute of the whole dismissal, discharge of recruitment has led to the dispute. And according to law Malaysian Act 262 under Trade Union Act 1959, Director General can be defined as the Director General of Trade Union appointed under Section 3 and includes a Deputy Director General, a Director and Assistant Director of Trade Unions, and a Trade Union Officer appointed under Section 4. The Director General of Trade Union is appointed by Yang di-Pertuan Agong and shall have the power of general supervision, direction and control of all matters relating to trade unions throughout Malaysia. As mentioned in the law of Malaysia under Trade Union Act 1959 4A, the powers, duties and functions conferred on the Director General by this Act and any regulation, the Director General shall have and may exercise all such power, discharge all such duties and perform all such functions as may be necessary for the purpose of giving effect to the carrying out the provision of this Act. The Director General of Trade Union DGTU also stipulated 5 powers to take action with regards to fund and account matter, which are:
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Dana and I will explain on power in terms of fund and account. Part 8 of the Trade Union Act mandates that union manage their fund and account. This part must be followed in order to avoid mismanagement of fund and account. As a result, Section 50 of the Trade Union Act specify a number of ways in which union funds can be used for a certain purpose, such as to pay the union's employee salaries, to keep the union headquarters in a good working order, to resolve trade dispute, to compensate members for damages incurred as a result of trade conflict, such as strike allowance as a payment of allowance to member and their family in the event of death, old age, sickness, accident or unemployment, as the printing, publishing, distribution of printed literature such as newsletter, brochure, flyers and banners. And the Trade Union Act specify how fund can be used to fund account activities such as picket, strikes, social gathering, sporting event, educational tour, dinner, family days and charitable activities. That's all.
In Section 52 Trade Union Act, the fund of a registered trade union should not be applied either directly or indirectly in any payment whatsoever to a political party or in furtherance of any political object. The expression of political object referred to in subsection 1 include the payment of any expenses inquired either directly or indirectly by candidate or prospective candidate for election to the House of Representatives or any state legislative assembly, before, during or after the election in connection with his candidature or election. Next is the holding of any meeting or the distribution of any literature or document in support of any such candidate or prospective candidate. The upkeep of any member of the Dewan Rakyat or any Dewan Undangan Negeri, the registration of the elector or the selection of the candidate for membership in the Dewan Rakyat or any Dewan Undangan Negeri, the holding of a political meeting of any kind, or the distribution of political literature or political document of any kind, or any other object that the ministry may specify by notification in the Gazette.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is SYAZWANI binti BATMI. So for today I will present about the preservation of fund of registered trade union, which can be defined as a trade union registered. So under the Act 262 Trade Unions Act 1959 explain about the Director General may be requested and additional information to ensure that any application comply with this Act and any regulation promulgated under it or that the trade union is eligible for registration. Therefore, the Director General itself may or by order or direct on any bank in Malaysia for not to pay any money out of or pay check drawn on the account of such union for a specific period not exceeding 6 months if he is satisfied that the funds of the union are likely to be misused. Next, the Director General shall cause the name of any trade union in respect of which an order is made under subsection to be published in the Gazette. For example, the case of Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MECC) are reviewing its standard operation procedure (SOP) and other internal integrity issue, which according to the Abu Zahar, LPPR will continue to monitor the progress of connected issue and offer its input towards the formation of a commission comprised of a high integrity officer. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Dana and I will explain on duty to render account. The term account rendered refers to an account prepared by the creditor and presented to the debtor for acceptance and review. An account rendered is regarded correct and valid in the absence of objection from the debtor. In Article 55, Scope 1 of the Malaysian Trade Union Act states that registered trade union finance officer and all other officers responsible for the accounting or collection, payment, storage or management of trade unions, designated by union legislation at least annually to record income and payment from the union fund or post them to the union's account upon resignation from his office or his employment, and must be done at the time given. In Article 55, Scope 2 stated that regulation may specify the format from the account. May specify the format of the account. In Article 55, Scope 3 also mentioned the account must be validated by a statutory declaration and the union must have the account audited by someone who has been approved by the Director General as suitable and proper. Next, according to Article 55 Scope 4, after the account has been audited, the officer or employee referred in subsection 1 shall immediately hand over to the trustees of the union any balance due from him, as well as all bonds, security, effect, books, paper and property of the union in his hands or custody or otherwise under his control if required.
My name is NURFAQIHAH YUSRA binti ZALFAIZA from KAM 1105H. My number birthday is 2019292274. Before the first day of October in each year, every registered trade union must submit to the Director General a general statement audited in the manner stipulated by rules of its receipt, money, effect and spending for the period of 12 months ending on the 31st day of March. The general statement referred to in subsection 1 should be verified by a statutory declaration, and the union shall cause the general statement to be audited by some fit and proper person approved by the Director General. No trade union shall have its general statement audited by the same individual for more than 3 years in a row. If Director General consider it necessary, he may do it by notice in writing. Director General will direct the attendance before him at the place and time set out in the notice of any person appointed to audit the general statement of a trade union for any purpose related to the audit. Director General may direct any trade union to post the general statement to be further audited in such manner as he may require. During the 12-month period before the state 31st day of March, the secretary of each registered trade union should provide to the Director General a copy of any adjustment or amendment of rules, new rules, and a list of all changes of vehicle made by the union, along with a copy of the trade union's current rules and membership information of the specific day. It comes together with the general statement referred to subsection 1. Every registered trade union shall cause to be kept such account book and other record as may be prescribed by regulations. The book and record referred to in subsection 1, the record of a trade union proceedings, and a list of its members shall at all reasonable time be open to inspection by any member of the trade union or any person having an interest in the fund of the trade union or the Director General. The Director General may, acting for a member or on his own behalf in any particular case, order the account books and other record of a trade union to be made available for inspection or audit by a fit and proper person approved by him.
On responsibility of DGTU Part Section 15 TUA outlines the use of union funds for specific purpose as follows. Firstly, paying salary to the union's employees. The financial allocation given after the trade union registration allow the money to be spent to pay the union salary as it already mentioned under Section 50 Clause 1 Clause 8. Secondly, maintenance of upkeeping of the union office. It explains the expenses of the administration of the trade union, which is also responsibility and things that need to be done in operating trade union as mentioned under Section 50 Clause 1 Clause B. Next, settlement of trade dispute. The prosecution or defense of any legal proceeding in which the trade union or any of its member is a party, when such prosecution of or any defense is conducted for the aim of obtaining or safeguarding any right of the trade union as a whole or any right arising from any members connection with his or her employer or with a person whom he or she employs. Fourthly, payment of compensation such as truck allowance to the members for the losses arising out of the trade dispute. This point, it deals with the trade resolving dispute, and the DGTU was also responsible for the compensating members for losing incurred of trade negotiation involving such members, provided that such trade dispute did not violate this act or others established law. Next, paying allowance to members and their family on account of death, old age, sickness, accident or unemployment. It's not just to human being but also to sympathies for others. Mentioning about the death and also sickness, it's something that can't be expected. So this allowance really help in facing the situation. Besides, the financial problem can be avoided for a while. Printing, publishing and circulation of any printed literature such as newsletter, brochure, flyers and also banners. Another example for responsibility of DGTU. The editing, printing, publication and distribution of any journal, magazine, news sheet or printed media published by the registration trade union for the promotion of its purpose or the promotion of its members' interest in line with its registration object contain rules was responsibility by DGTU, which means if there's any lack of misunderstanding or information that become an issue, it must be responsible and must be explained by DGTU. In this situation, it showed that the responsibility as DGTU was not easy, and he or she needs to be really careful on making any decision of the trade union. And lastly, financing union activities such as picket strike, social events, sports activities, educational trip, dinner, family day and also charitable activity. Trade union might have held any activities in order to cause up the relationship between members or active the status of trade union. So any activity that had been mentioned before can be held using the union money as well.
In conclusion, trade unions still tend to play an important role in protecting workers and helping them enforce their legal rights, particularly in case when this right may be uncertain or under debate. Unfortunately, a post-structuralized view of the trade union indicates that the union tend to be more responsive to their own social contract with the workers than to the actual need and demand of the workplace itself. This can lead to union behaving in a overly militant way, particularly when they feel their own power and relevance is being treated. Trade unions, as we all know, play a crucial role in a successful communication between worker and the management. They offer guidance and help to ensure that disagreements do not escalate into a serious dispute. Trade unions' main purpose is to represent individuals at work.
I know is not enough.